This is the Nico Lagan Show. Frankly, motivation is bullshit. What you need is discipline, and your mindset is the difference between success and failure. Warning. Warning. This show contains explicit content. Listener discretion is advised. Real, raw, and shooting you straight. This is the Nico Lagan Show. And now your host, Nico.
Welcome to yet another episode of the Nico Lagan Show. I have the pleasure to be sitting with Jeff Glueck. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing, dog?
Listen, it's thanks for having us. I can say that I've never been into an office on a pig farm. Just so you know, one thing that I've learned from Silence of the Lamb is never fucking trust somebody that has a pig farm.
You know, if my wife wanted to, if she wanted to get rid of me, our pigs would happily eat me indiscriminately.
Just so you guys know, Jeff runs an animal sanctuary upon one of the many things that he does, but there's a 900-pound pig out there. I don't think you guys that's never been on a pig farm, you don't understand how fucking big 900-pound is. It is freaking massive.
It's basically a bear on four legs.
Yep. She wanted me to move earlier, and there's nothing I could do about, except I would have had to knee her or kick her or something for her to move.
Yes.
But
Yep.
So tell us, who are you? What do you do, and why the hell you do it?
I professionally, I run sales for two companies for a commercial lender based in Miami. Mm-hmm. So I manage the sales and marketing teams. I have, my department is, out of 47 employees, I have about 25 that report to me. Okay. That keeps me very, very busy. I'm very grateful, helps me keep the lights on and keep things rolling. Personally, my wife and I founded Piccolo Farms Animal Sanctuary back in 2018. It's a whole story behind that, but it found us. We really didn't seek it out. It's one of those things where we went down the path, and before we knew it, here we were. So we have over 70 head of livestock. The mission of the farm is to provide a forever loving home to unwanted, neglected, and abused livestock. There's a whole story behind that if you'd like to learn more, we're certainly happy to talk about it. And then my passion, I'm a kettlebell guy. I'm a certified instructor through Strong First, and that is what I do to escape and keeps me sane.
It's one of the things that I find interesting, and we'll get into further details, but you're ex-military, but yet you have so much compassion for animals. Like we were talking before we're recording the podcast, and I think we can both agree to that. It would be harder for me to take the life of a pig than it is to take the life of a human.
100%. Our pigs, we have over 38 pigs total. Range from 900 pounds all the way down to the smallest pig is probably 80 pounds. They are so smart that I don't see pigs. I see 3 or 4 year old children, because that literally is their emotional and mental capacity. 4 times more intelligent than dogs, smart enough to decide not to live. Smart enough to know when they're not wanted, and smart enough to understand their place. And I go out every day, twice a day, when I do chores and take care and feed everyone. And they literally, I look at them as kids.
Would you say that, because there's a misconception nowadays that real masculinity is toxic. We are, for men being men nowadays is frowned upon by society as a whole, as we need to be more like little women, but yet we're definitely are not women. We're not women. I have no interest in being one. But how does that work for you? Because to me, as a good man, I need to be able to control my monster, if you will. And it's on a leash. I control it. But yet I have one of the biggest hearts that you'll ever meet. I've learned to recognize where I will allow that heart to take over and when the monster needs to go out. But is that something you do consciously? Like, are you aware that... Do you consider that like a trait of a good man?
What I consider a trait of a good man are a variety of things. First of all, strength, true strength, comes from your heart. True strength. I teach, my kids turned 18 in September, twin boys, and I teach them that we have a responsibility to be strong within ourselves. We have a responsibility to be physically strong. We have a responsibility to take care of the bodies that God gave us and to be mindful of what we put inside our bodies and what we choose to eat and how we choose to behave. And so for me, the indication of a man is how, if I come at it from a family perspective, how strong of a leader in the family are you? We all carry our shit around with us. We all have baggage. We have baggage from when we were growing up. We have baggage from there's a variety of things that we all struggle with. We all have our demons that we face every day. My demons are on top of me, nonstop, constantly. But I want my kids to know. So here's the thing. I believe that there is a central question that every single man or male is ingrained with. And that question is, do I have what it takes? Do I have what it takes to succeed? Do I have what it takes to be a good husband? Do I have what it takes to do the thing that I really want to do? That thing right there, I have, it's off camera, but I was not raised with the knowledge that I have what it takes to do blank. And I was raised very passively. I was bullied. I was afraid all the time. I was not very physically strong. And I was raised being afraid that I didn't have what it takes to do anything, that I wasn't good enough to go to the school I wanted to go to. I wasn't good enough to, hey, I can't buy that car. It's too fancy. I need to buy this piece of shit over here because that's what I deserve. And I instill in my kids, I hope that you have what it takes to do whatever it is that you want to do. And if you don't seize it, then you're shorting yourself. And that voice inside your head that's telling you that you don't have it, it's not there for you, that is not coming from a place of love. It's coming from another place that is not the voice that you should listen to.
It's doubt.
100.
It's 100% doubt and fear.
I mean, think about everything that you've ever been afraid of in your life comes down to, man, I don't have what it takes to do that.
Absolutely. Your fear overtakes because again, this is something I've spoken about so many times and I don't think I can repeat it enough, is courage is not the lack of fear. It's the complete opposite, is being scared of something, but telling anyway. Yourself that screw this, fuck this, I'm just going to do it no matter what. This 100%. Is what courage is.
Yes.
It is not a lack of fear. It takes balls to be courageous. That's exactly what the definition is. But we've forgotten, I think our fathers are not teaching, the fathers are not teaching that to their boys anymore.
No, I really don't think they are. And the thing of it is, right, so the world is stacked against us.
So unprofessional.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Having his phone ringing in the middle of a podcast.
The world literally is stacked against us.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Because it's not politically correct to be a strong man.
Not anymore.
And if you look at every male role in movies, TV, sitcoms, television, the male is always a fucking idiot.
My buddy calls it the Homer syndrome.
Yeah.
Like as in Homer Simpson?
Yes. Complete idiot. And there's one program. There's one program that portrays the man as flawed, strong, and it's This Is Us. I don't know if you've seen that television program, but the guy, the male figure in that television show is an alcoholic. He struggles with his addiction, and yet he loves his family. He leads his family, and he leaves such a mark on his family that when he dies, spoiler alert, but I mean, whatever, when he dies, leaves such an unbelievable hole for his kids to try to fill, and they want to aspire to that. And we have roles, right? So within a relationship or a marriage, the man has a role to play.
Absolutely.
The woman has a role to play.
Yep.
We are built differently. We are created differently for a reason. There's a reason why the man has a particular role that the woman doesn't have. And those roles they're equally important.
Absolutely.
And for us to claim our true role is to lead, to be physically fit, formidable, to defend our families.
I love it. Josie's in the background. I can see her through the mirror. She's just looking at you and shaking her head like a fucking man.
Because deep down, I don't believe that there's a woman out there who doesn't want to feel like they're captivated, like they're wanted and worth defending.
Agreed.
And so we have a responsibility as men to rise above and not allow society to take away our ability to lead and defend our families. Because if you believe in good and evil, and I do.
If you don't step outside your house, it's everywhere.
100%.
It's fucking everywhere.
So what does evil want to do? Evil wants to take away what is supposed to represent the strength in our family, in our lives, in society. And that's to take men out. And this notion of we are focusing on things like, well, we want everyone to feel okay, and self-esteem and participation trophies and all of this other bullshit that we try to raise our kids guarding their self-esteem as if it's fragile. Life is hard.
The speech, one of my favorite movies. I was born in the 80s, so I'm a big sucker for Sylvester Stallone. I'm particularly a fan of the Rocky series. That I watch those movies and I've seen them 20 times each. And in Rocky Balboa, have you seen when he talks to his son outside the restaurant?
I don't remember the scene, but I've seen the movie.
The son is just complaining how, because Rocky's probably in his 60s, end of his 50s by then, and there was a freak fight, like a simulated fight between the current heavyweight champion and Rocky Balboa to see if you could take anybody from any era. And Rocky Balboa knocked out the champion. So there's promoters that are like, oh, fuck, we're going to cash on this. So they offer him a fight. And he's like, you know what? I'll start fight. He doesn't want to fight that, but he's like, maybe I should start fighting again. And the son gets pissed off at his dad. He's like, do you know, because of the only reason I have a job is because I have your last name. And he starts blaming his father for all of his problems. And his father starts saying, like, you know what? When you were a baby, I was holding you in my hands, and fuck, I knew you'd be the best kid ever. You grew up to be phenomenal. You did all the right thing, but one day you started fucking blaming a shadow, as in Rocky, for all your fucking problems. You got to stop this shit. If you don't know this, life is going to kick you to your knees. It's going to fucking leave you down there if you don't do anything about it. But he just rips a new one to his son very politely.
Yeah.
But at the end, the son comes back and he's like, quits his job because he wants to focus on himself. And you know what? This is a role that men have with their boys. Like I've said this so many times, I'll say it again. One of the biggest problems that I see in society today is that men are raised by women. The father is so castrated by, I know in North America, so I don't know where you're from, you that's listening right now, but in North America, if there's a divorce, automatically the woman gets the children. Yeah. Unless she's a good woman and she says, I want the father to be part of their life. But if she doesn't want to, if she's vindictive, you're fucked. You're not going to see your kids. And then I was raised by a woman. I had nobody to teach me the ropes when I was a kid. I did a lot of stupid shit and followed the wrong people when I was younger to find out by myself that I needed good mentors. But it is your responsibility as the leader of a family like you to have twin boys, and they're well raised. I met one of them, Good looking boy too. He's going to have fun when he's older. Or he's already having fun. I don't know.
He tells me he's very selective. He does not need he doesn't need a girl. He's like, Dad, I don't need a girlfriend right now. All I want to do is train. I want to finish high school.
Good for him.
If I get into a relationship right now, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to college, and then what? So
you raised a good kid.
he is a very, very solid young man, and I'm very proud of him.
Well, see, there is another guy did a podcast, Justin Garcia. When I showed up there, don't know the guy, similar to you. Actually, I never met him before I went to his place. He was introduced to me by a common friend. Show up there, he has 3 boys and a daughter, all 12 and under, 12 or 13 and under. They all came to where I was. They shook my hand. They introduced themselves. There's one of the son that was working, but as soon as he got home, he came downstairs. He's like, "Hi, sir, how you doing?" Mm-hmm. It's beautiful, but this is what a leader, a man, to me, a family should look exactly like this. But that's lacking nowadays. And even the fathers that are part of their families are a bunch of fucking pansy that are scared to be an authority figure because they want to be friends with their kids. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
When I divorced their mother when they were 6, and it's the hardest thing I ever did. And I've had to fight, to your point, the deck is stacked against men in situations like that.
Yeah, and the justice system. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I had to, I fought very, very hard, and I worked hard every single time every opportunity that I had to see them. I worked very, very hard to do that, to be a part of their life. Yep. I didn't want to be an every other weekend father. That's not what I'm wired to do. I love my kids, and I had to work really hard to be relevant in their life. Yep. Their mother would have been perfectly happy with me just sending my support and sending money and sending money and sending money, and me as an ATM machine, which, it is what it is. I get it. But they don't see that. They've never seen the money, and I've never made it an issue until now, because I want them to know that, guys, you realize, like, from the time that your mom and I divorced, I've sent her $400,000 for you in that time.
Jesus Christ.
And I do it gladly.
No questions about it.
Because it's my responsibility.
You're a provider.
Yes.
As a man, it's part of your role to be a protector and provider.
It's one of the things that when I die, that I'll be very happy that I did. It'll be one of the things that I was very thankful to have the opportunity to be your dad and to be a provider and to help you not make the same mistakes that I've made in my life, and have you not fight. You'll fight your own demons so long as you're not fighting legacy demons. I don't want to pass on my shit to you. I want to help you avoid the shit that I stepped in my life, so that you will have your own unique challenges that you're faced with. And if I've done my job, and it's an ongoing process, and I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, my wife will tell you that I'm not perfect.
She probably tells you too.
She does. And, but the thing about that whole situation with them is, they need to have the tools to be able to be good men. And, my wife Bonnie tells me all the time, it's like, you need to raise them to be good husbands.
You have to raise them to be good fathers,
yes,
good husband, good brothers, good
yes,
cousin, just good men as a whole.
And Bonnie would always, I'm so thankful for her, because she was able to see through the emotionality and the guilt of a divorce.
Yep.
And provide me with, Jeff, what you're doing is not right. You need to do this. You can't let guilt keep you can't let she called it dad guilt. And she's right. You can't let dad guilt dictate and change what they need. What they need and the comfort that you want to give them are two entirely different things. Mm-hmm. And because she was really a guide for me to ensure that when I was providing guidance for them, that I wasn't handing them my guilt for divorcing their mother,
Yep.
but I was giving them what they needed to hear in a loving, respectful way. I've always treated my boys not as children, and I've never wanted to make I never wanted them to be. I never wanted to instill anger in them. If I had to discipline them, I wanted to discipline them in a way where they understood why.
Yep.
And so that there wasn't this anger and resentment, right? Because that's part of our problem when you're disciplining a child or a kid or a teenager or whatever, and you're not particularly when they hit 15. My kids went from sweet to shit. The minute they got pubic hair, it became they totally became douchebags.
Yeah.
And I told them that. I said, look, you have hormones that are surging through you right now that you're not familiar with. If you aren't in the mood for something, then you need to remove yourself from the situation and go be by yourself. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But, don't bring your douche in here because it's not fair to everyone else, but you're entitled to have it.
It's part of you no matter what.
It's understandable. And then all of a sudden they come back.
Yep.
Right. And now my son that you met, Michael,
he's a cool dude. I'm a fan.
He was a shit for a year and a half, and then all of a sudden, he's back, and now he is. I don't have to parent so much. I have to be an example.
Yep.
He is a great. He is. I'm proud of them both. They're both very different, but I'm proud of them both, and they've got their own issues and challenges that they deal with every day. But one of those things that I want to make sure that to instill them in is that it is okay to be strong. It is okay to be a man, and it is okay to behave like a man.
It's not okay. It is needed.
Open the door for her.
Yep.
Treat her like whether she wants to or not, and she may say, you don't need to do that, but trust me, she wants you to do that. And treat the women in your life with honor and be strong for them. Open the door for them. They want it. They may not believe that they do, but trust me, they do. And they do. It's like, ask them, would you like me to get the door for you, or just get it? And if they say no, it's like, oh, okay,
do it.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it every time, whether they want it or not. Because chances are, guess what? They do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think any woman is going to say no.
And if they do, well, then they're not the right woman for you.
So you're bringing a good point here. This is something that is not taught to men. I know I wasn't taught that as a child, or as a teenager at least, is how to choose a woman. So you have two boys, you have twin boys. If the second one is any like the first one I met, it's a good looking, good dude too. So he's not going to have problems finding interested women. What do you think needs to be done in order to teach them that we have a penis, it's easy to insert it in every single fucking hole that we want,
right?
But there are consequences to those actions.
100%.
And not only are there consequences, but there are very bad consequences. Because I've been divorced before, and so have you.
Yes.
I don't regret what I did, but looking back, I can tell you that I did not choose the right woman.
Correct.
Based on how her morals and mine aligned. They did not align. I chose mostly with my penis than with my brain.
Yes.
How do you teach that to your boys now? Is that something you've done? Is that something how do you approach the subject? Is that something you've spoken to them about yet?
So we've had conversations. So I think that that question is part of a larger issue that face men.
Yeah.
We giving yourself to someone, and you had mentioned, we stick our penis in everything.
We definitely could.
We could. So, but when putting your penis inside of another woman, you're one with them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you can only do that for the first time, one time. And I've said to my one son, My other son, Matthew, he has a girlfriend. She's a very lovely lady, and I know that they're sexually active.
Okay.
And then the conversation becomes, the head in your pants does not have a brain, and it will do whatever it wants to do through hormone, and 5 or 10 minutes of pleasure could impact the rest of your life. So be very careful. If she is on birth control, then you put a condom on. If she's on birth control, you put a condom on. If she's not on birth control, you put 2 condoms on. Wear 2 condoms all the time so that when you take one off, you feel like a new man. But
that's funny.
But the reality is, if you're going to have sex with her, and I can't tell you not to. You're 18 years old. You're going to do what you're going to do. But when you have sex, you're agreeing to the responsibility and the consequence that may come. It is not a consequence-free activity.
Yep.
There's a consequence that could come with it, and so you need to be very careful about. The condom can break. So if she's not on birth control, if it were me, if you're going to have sex, put the condom on. Don't come inside her, and be double safe, because you don't know. Because I'm sorry, like I've had condom breaks. I know when they break.
Yep.
I mean, come on. It's basically the difference between walking barefoot and having a sneaker on outside. It's the same thing. So I know for sure when that thing breaks. And so if she says that she's on the pill and you don't need a condom, put it on anyway.
Yep.
And so my other son, he is not sexually active. And I've had conversations with him about you can only give yourself away one time.
That's true. Huh?
And when you give yourself away, and if it's not with the person that you're going to marry, that person will forever be in your story.
That's true.
And when you meet the woman that you want to spend the rest of your life with, when you love her, when you choose to love her,
yep,
because you love her, you're going to wish
that should be the one,
that she was the only one that you gave yourself to. And you will regret every other instance where you put your penis inside of another human being. And that is the case with me. I wish, I'm a 53-year-old man. Obviously, I've got miles on me in all parts of my body. It is the way that it is. But I wish, if I had to do it all over again, I wish that I would have had the discipline to wait for Bonnie, because I can't imagine what it would be like to have, knowing that her and I were the only one that we gave each other to. And that doesn't mean I'm not, and that, most people, society says, oh, you're a dude, just go procreate, do whatever, stick on whatever you want. I mean, it's all fine, watch porn, all the things. Porn, in my opinion, is more dangerous than cocaine.
There was this is something I have big problems with porn, like massive problem with porn. It is I can't remember who it was. I was reading last week that it has been used in the past as a weapon of war. Yeah. That I don't remember which country did it, but it was way before Pornhub and all those places. Yeah. But they would drop pamphlets of naked women, and it would turn on the guys. The guys would masturbate to death and basically become docile. Yeah. So they're easy to take over. And this is exactly what you're seeing right now with young boys, especially, that they're so focused on, and we're not talking masturbation. Like, masturbation is something that you can learn to control, obviously, with time. But I don't have a problem with masturbation. I have a problem with watching porn. One of my buddies made me realize that. He's like, do you realize that since the internet was invented, before the internet was invented, you might see a few women naked in your life? Like before Hugh Hefner, before he invented Playboy, you would see a few women naked. The only women you saw naked were women that you physically saw naked, that were in front of you, that you slept with. Nowadays, I can turn on my phone, see 1,000 naked women doing whatever it is that they do within the next 5 minutes. Well, 1,000 in 5 minutes doesn't make sense, but you know what I'm saying.
I got you. Yep.
I have access to millions and millions and millions of those. I don't need to deal with the women anymore. I don't need to deal with anything anymore. I can self-pleasure myself into oblivion, literally.
Yes.
And the biggest thing that most men out there don't realize is that there is hormones that are produced. Like if you look at
Dopamine.
Exactly. If you look at the way porn works, is the same way as Facebook works, the same way as Instagram works. Dopamine is a hormone that wants you to learn. This is what dopamine for what it is, it's kind of a reward for you to look for something new, because something new means you're trying to learn something, you're trying to find out something new. And those companies like Pornhub's, Facebook, Instagrams had figured that out. So you watching, it's not even the coming part anymore that's the satisfaction of masturbating to porn. It is really finding something new that you've never seen before. So this is where it becomes toxic. You said cocaine, dopamine is a lot stronger than cocaine, and your body produces it, and you can simply have a hit right now with your cell phone.
Yep. It changes the random nature of Pornhub and porn. There is a progressiveness to it that is very dangerous. Your brain, the response and the release of dopamine has a similar chemical impact to your brain as cocaine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I tell my boys that pornography is like cocaine for your eyes.
Absolutely.
And once you see it, our brains are made for, we had talked about protection and strength and all these things. Our brain is wired in a certain way that's where women's brains are wired differently.
How dare you say that?
Well, we're
How
wired.
Dare.
We are wired to. Our heads are on a swivel. We're visual, right?
Yep.
We are wired for protection. It's just at a very primal level. We were made to protect. That is our part of our role, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And because of that, and I've told my boys this, and I've succumbed to this myself. I've struggled with porn my whole life,
like most men nowadays do.
And it is a matter of I will run an image over and over and over in my brain. And as soon as that image becomes a movie, we can spin up movies and experiences, whether it's something as terrible as pornography or whether it's a childhood experience. We can go into our brain and we can spin it up, and you can't unsee something. And the chemical dependency that can occur through pornography, the statistics of porn addiction it's something like 4 out of 10 men are addicted to porn.
Oh, bullshit. There's more than that.
Well, it probably is a little bit more than that.
Because most people will not admit to it.
And
I wouldn't be
women,
surprised if it's more like 80% of
and
men.
it's just as pervasive for women. I think the statistic is 3 in 10 women are addicted to pornography.
And again, those are the ones that admit to it.
Yes. And it is a huge problem.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And you can't even, you can't have an innocent Instagram page without being confronted with imagery that you've never asked for.
Yep. And most of them, if your profile shows you as a man, it's all women half naked that are doing whatever the fuck you would call that. But yeah.
And it is, in my opinion, from a military perspective. So this bleeds into video games. I don't mean to complain about society. I don't want to sound like my old man about how, shitty the world is or whatever. But video games, the first person video games like Call of Duty and all those things.
Yep.
There was a time when my kids knew what every weapon was.
Absolutely.
So we are built as men to want to play war. I mean, that's just what, who doesn't, what kids don't want to play with guns and all that stuff. And they go out and they shoot each other with airsoft guns. Like my kids had airsoft guns, and I happily provided them with airsoft guns.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife would be like, oh my gosh, they're going to hurt themselves. And I said, so they're at home right now I don't allow video games in our house.
Good for you.
We don't have video games.
Good for you.
They were never allowed to come here with video games.
Awesome. That is very good for you.
And I'll tell them, if you want to go experience what war is like, here's an airsoft gun.
Yep.
And put t-shirt, long pants on, eye protection, and go shoot each other.
Yep.
Go have at it. And
Yeah,
it's
have
gonna
fun.
but it hurts. I'm like, exactly. So when you are playing Call of Duty,
Yep.
you're getting the adrenaline rush of what it's like, but you're cheating the reality of the experience. You're in fantasy world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pornography, when you're engaging in pornography, you are taking the requirement of intimacy away. For me to be intimate with my wife, I have to work to be intimate with her,
Yep.
right? And I have to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But porn, I literally you can watch porn and literally not have to do anything.
Yep.
You don't have to work for it. You can
Yep.
cheat the experience. It's all about you. It takes away the purpose of what that is supposed to be. And it's very dangerous. The military trains soldiers on virtual reality shooting to get them desensitized to what it might be like to shoot someone. And they use those video gaming experiences to desensitize them so they become effective killers.
And people out there think that video games don't have an actual impact on the player.
You don't think the school shootings and everything else, nobody talks about it, but you don't think video games has an impact on what all that is for that individual that decides to pick up an AR-15 and walk into a school and shoot people?
This whole thing, to me, this is a completely different subject, but I was getting in not an argument, I don't argue with people, but I was getting into a discussion with someone, and I'm a gun owner. I'm a proud gun owner.
Likewise.
And I'm a martial artist at home. The day I get a visa in the U.S., I will live in a carry state like Tennessee, and I will carry a gun.
100%.
My girlfriend, one of the first things that we did when we got to Tennessee, I got a new knife because I'm a knife guy.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Did you know we sell tasers?" We're like, "You sell tasers?" So my girlfriend has a taser.
Yeah, tasers are dope. Yeah, you should have one. Yep.
And my point is that it's the great equalizer, right?
100%. Yep.
But yet, so we went to the gun range. My buddy and I came down from Montreal. Well, the guy that was recording the other day.
Yeah.
And we tried full auto. So we tried an AK-47, which is fucking garbage to shoot, but we don't have that in Canada. So both of us are like, yes, bro, we're shooting a fucking AK. But we tried a full auto Uzi, which we're not allowed to have fully automatic guns in Canada. So we're literally, both of us have our licenses. Both of us own a lot of firearms in Canada, but we're responsible people. But we were having fun like little children, though.
Yes.
So I posted a video of that on my coaching page, and somebody started complaining, saying that guns are bad, guns are this, and guns are a problem, and all of that. And I always find it fascinating that they always go back to school shooting. So I started, because what I'm noticing today in society is that people's opinion is based on emotion, not on facts.
Yeah.
So you can tell me that guns are bad. Okay, sure. She's like, "Oh, we're from the UK. We don't have school shootings here." Okay, no. But did you see the amount of people that gets killed by knives? Somebody that wants to kill somebody is going to find a way. So I started breaking down the statistics for that person. I'm like, do you know that more than 50% of gun crimes and gun death are people shooting themselves? They're people committing suicide. The other 45% or so are criminals. So they're gang-related activities.
Yeah.
It's less than 5% of people. I think it's between 5 and 1% of gun crimes are committed by gun owners, like legitimate gun owners. And I'm not even sure it's that high. I think those statistics are screwed. But the point is that a criminal is a criminal. They're going to find a way to commit a crime. And let's not lie to each other. I don't want to give people ideas, but very easy to make a bomb nowadays. You go online, you can find it. I don't even know why people use guns for school shooting. I'll fucking blow the hole. It'd be easier for them to blow. My point is that if they want to do something, they'll find a way. A gun is just a tool. But the thing they don't speak about is the fact that about every single school shooter was on an anti-depression drug. They were flagged way before they committed crimes, and nothing was done because we lacked the fucking balls to recognize problems and to effectively do something about it. Those were not out of the blue. You look at the past of those individuals, you should have known. But we don't talk about the fact that guns to me are just tools, like a hammer is, like a knife is, like a fucking car is. A lot more people die every year from car accidents. Should we ban cars because there's fucking idiots out there? Fuck no. We never talk about the fact that thousands and thousands of people every year defend themselves with guns, but that we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the fact that I lived in the woods. You know how long it would take for a police officer to show up to my old house in Canada? About 45 minutes. In 5 years, I've seen 3. In the town that's 15 minutes away, I've seen 1 in my area in 5 years. Who the fuck is going to protect myself? Who's going to protect my girlfriend? Who would protect my family? If I don't have guns, if somebody shows... It's fucking mind-blowing that people cannot make the difference between a tool and psychological problems.
The gun owner, I absolutely love I've got a Glock 43. Absolutely love it. It's perfect. It's small. You can get a mag upgrade to 15. So it's a single stack, but Shield Arms makes a mag that
it's double stack.
It takes it from 10 to 15. So I've got a 15 round mag, one in the chamber, so 16. And
there we go. You carry chamber.
It's concealed. Well, yeah. I mean,
I love people that carry.
I mean, it makes no, like, it's a completely ridiculous thing. So if you're going to carry and you don't have one in the chamber, what's the damn point, dude? Like, so it literally could be a seconds game. Yep. And then you're in a state of panic. You pull that thing out and you're like, click, and you're like, oh shit. Because
there's none in the chamber.
Because the danger isn't, the danger is not you shooting someone. The danger is someone overpowering you, taking your gun from you and shooting you with it. That is that is the danger. So
it's 10 meters. Did you ever see the 10 meters training?
No.
See, this is more, again, I was part of that training. Like, I used to do security work, and the guy that trained us was a SWAT member. He was a team lead and a SWAT member in the Ottawa, Canada region. And he was teaching us, he took us to a gym one day and he's like, okay, did you know that a police officer that has a gun with no bullet in the chamber, it has the protector on top of it? Like, it's not those nice plastic molded to your gun where you can just take it out. It needs to have a strap on top with a button. So if I am 10 meters away from you with a knife, by the time you're able to remove the pin, unholster your gun, crank it, just release the slide to put a bullet in, present the gun to me, I'm already stabbing you. 10 meters. 10 meters is a long, and you're talking pressure, you're talking somebody, imagine that person's a maniac screaming at you and he has a gun, he has a knife in his hands. You don't have the time to pull it out. So if you guys are carrying, fucking chamber that shit.
The thing is not going to go off on its own. It's just not. So
especially not I was trying what was it? An HK V9, I think. What a beautiful gun.
Yeah.
But it's a striker, which all of mine normally I've competed with the SP Shadow 1 from CZ. Fucking love those guns.
Yeah.
But the safety's on the trigger, right? So unless you're like, there's no way in a Kydex holster that the trigger's not exposed. So there's no way it's going to shoot itself.
No. In fact, my Glock doesn't even have a safety. It's basically it's going to do what it's going to do. So it's not going to go off by itself. Even you could drop it, it's not going to go off by itself. People are misinformed in terms of what they need to do. If you're going to carry, it comes with a tremendous amount of responsibility. I carry here. We had.
Do you still carry today?
I do.
Yeah.
Last week, I guess 2 weeks ago, we had some livestock stolen.
Yeah, you were. Your wife was telling me that. That's.
And so that was. I don't understand it, but it's funny. I took my son down to a lacrosse tournament down in Alabama, and we had about an hour and a half between games. And so he's with his buddies. And so I was in the car. So I pulled up, gun stores near me. And there was one 1.5 miles down the road. So I went down there and I said, hey, so I need a comfortable inside the waistband holster for my 43.
Yep.
And he gave me a bunch of options. And turns out I'm a leather guy. I had some Kydex holsters. I sold them. They were just felt foreign. Leather against my skin.
Isn't more natural to you?
Feels good. Okay. And it once it warms up and so I have a leather inside the waistband and I have a leather outside, depending on if you're wearing stylish low-rise pants, the inside the waistband becomes a little uncomfortable. But if you're wearing a pair of old school Wranglers, then like that inside the waistband, it feels like so you have to. And Tennessee, we're very fortunate here where you can carry without a permit, concealed or not concealed. And it's the way, in my opinion, it's the way that it should be. However, if you are a gun owner, then you have a responsibility to use it. To
know how to use it,
yes, absolutely. And you have to shoot it. You have to be proficient. You just can't put it on. It's not a paperweight.
No, definitely not.
Because always then you put more people in danger by not being proficient.
Always know how to shoot and always know what's behind your target, because that's another thing.
100%, yes. 100%.
Movies don't show like cop right in the middle of the street, just shoot. Bro, come on, man. Come on.
Not to mention you won't hear anything for 3 days.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That I love that, how you put a tiny silencer on a 45 and somehow you're not hearing anything. That's another fucking misconception.
Yes.
If you guys out there have never shot a gun, a silencer is not the real term. It's called a suppressor. And a suppressor suppresses noise to a point that it doesn't blow your fucking eardrums.
Yes.
It does not sound like a pea shooter. Yes, if you have subsonic 22 bullets with a suppressor, you can make it sound like a pea shooter.
It's just like a clack clack.
Exactly. But a 9mm, a 45, there's no fucking way. You're just not destroying your eardrums. Is all you're doing.
Well, one of my favorite movie series are the John Wick series.
Oh fuck, man! Yeah, I am such a fan of Keanu Reeves. That dude is a fucking beast.
So you want to talk about a man like that? So he is one of the kindest men out there. And I read an article about that first John Wick in the first scene where he is basically he's in that room and he's shooting everything in sight. He trained with he did training with law enforcement, and they said that and his trainer said that he was so proficient that he was better than the SWAT team members in terms of his speed and ability to eyes on target and to SWAT magazines.
Did you not see him train? There's videos online. You can train very clever what he did. You know what IPSC competitions are, right? IPSC. No. So IPSC are competition. Most of them are 3 guns. So you'll compete with an AR, a shotgun, and a handgun. Yeah. And they're targets. So you basically are moving through a series of. Just Google.
I think I've seen Rogan do that.
Just look for Keanu Reeves IPSC training. He trained with some of the best competitor. And that's all they do. They literally show you how to draw. They show you how to do target acquisition as you're moving. And IPSC will have, you have to go underneath there. You have to shoot on top of that. There's going to be boxes in your way. Like some of the competitions are extremely, extremely complicated. But he did a really good job. Not only that, but he trained Sambo, which is the martial art that John Wick is Russian. Russians do Sambo, which is a mix of judo and striking. A lot of takedowns. Like you get close, they're going to, as you see in the movie, as soon as somebody's close, gets the gun out and you just throw them. Mm-hmm. That's Sambo. He's done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is super kind. You see him supposedly in the first Matrix, he gave basically all of his paychecks away to the people working on the movie because he felt they weren't making enough money. Like this to me is a man.
Yeah, 100%.
And he takes the time to learn what needs to be done, because those movies, I'm a martial artist. I'm a gun owner, and most movies actually, it's like scraping knees on a board. I look at the movies and I'm screaming. I'm like, motherfucker, that's not how you hold a gun. That technique would never work. That's bullshit. But that movie, I do not know any martial artists that did not enjoy it to a point of being little boys.
It's a great movie. I mean, just
The three of them are, the fourth one's coming, yeah?
Oh, is it really?
Oh, yeah. They started recording it. I can't wait to see that.
Terrific. Yeah, it's awesome.
But this is about the most realistic one. But see, this is what I like about this movie. This, to me, is a perfect representation of a man. He chose to quit everything for the love of a woman. The woman died. He did not have the Rock in his life anymore. There was something missing in his life. He got a dog. He literally killed about 100 or 50, 200 people because of a dog.
Yeah.
You fucked with my dog. That was the last thing I owned from my wife. All you fuckers need to die. But this shows a man that had it so much under control when he was with his wife that we don't even know if she knew. We don't even know if she knew what he was. But he had it under control. And this is something that men are missing today. Like all the people talking about people like you and I, or all the people that I've spoken to on this podcast as being fucking toxic. Weak men are fucking toxic. People that spend their days fucking masturbating, playing video games, not knowing how to defend themselves, not being a good provider, not being working on acquiring knowledge to become smarter, not working on becoming better men, on simply fucking blaming everybody else for your fucking problem. You are the fucking problem, you weak ass motherfucking man. It bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah, there's definitely we don't always have to have it right, you know. So the part of, I believe that there's strength in humility, and there's strength in, you know, I've always apologized to my kids when I was wrong.
Yep.
And but weak men are an issue. This is an example. I was at a lax tournament with my kid down in, I don't even remember the hell it was. It was down in Georgia or something. And I lost, like 15 years ago, I lost like 80 pounds. I got off the couch and I'm like, I hate the way I look. I can't do it anymore. And so I just started walking, ate hard-boiled eggs, and it, you know, and then just started to, you know, my wife introduced me to kettlebells, and from there it was just a love affair. Those things are.
And you're not talking about your wife. You're talking about the dumbbells,
I'm talking about
right?
the bells. Like they you know, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, I don't understand what they are, then go out and Google Dan John and teach yourself, because it's a fountain of youth, 100%. If you don't use it, you lose it. And so anyway, so I was at this thing, and this guy comes up to me, and he's overweight, and he asked me, are you a trainer? And I said, well, I mean, I enjoy my modality. And I said, this is what I do. And he's like, okay, well, would you train me? And I said, yeah, I could, you know, I do it because I want to help. I would do it because I wanted to help him. I said, yeah, absolutely. Here's my number. Call me anytime. No charge. Just, you know, whatever. I can put you on, you know, if you have one, we can do it via Zoom or whatever. And it's all good. You know, no worries at all. And guy never called.
Of course not.
And there is this degree of there's want, and then there's the actual notion of, all right, well, I'm going to get off my ass and I'm going to make a change. But I guarantee you that guy complains all the time
100%.
about, you know, oh, my pants don't fit, and oh,
100%.
this, and I'm tired all the time, my back hurts, and this and that. And I'm like, dude, like you cannot spend your whole life wishing is not going to make it happen. And I had a guy here, a neighbor, who wanted me to help him get into shape. And I said, okay, sure. Yeah, come on over. He stuck it out I said, if you want to get in shape, this is what you need to do. I'm going to tell you right now what you need to do. You need to do this. You need to pick that thing up right there.
Yep.
And give me 15 minutes a day, and then go for a 40-minute walk.
Yep.
Do that for 3 months, just 3 months.
Yep.
And your life will change.
Yep.
You stuck it out for a week and a half, 2 weeks.
But that's how weak men are.
And you can't, like, I mean, when I am not, I'm not a big dude. It's not my jam. I'm not shredded, nothing like that. It's not a thing. It's not my ego. I went to I trained for a Strong First certification for kettlebells, and basically what it is it's not just you go to a weekend cert and you're screwing around. There's a test.
Yeah.
So you have to demonstrate proficiency in all stages of usage of the implement, the kettlebell, and it culminates in the snatch test. You familiar with the snatch test?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the snatch test, it's a 53 kilo bell.
That's a good snatch.
I'm sorry, not 53. It's a 53 pound. It's a 24 kilo bell.
Because I was going to say 53 kilo. That's like 120 pounds. That's a good snatch.
That's a good snatch. Yeah. So you have to do 100 single arm snatches with a 24 kilo bell in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, you just can't. Your typical person can't pick up that kettlebell and snatch it 100 times with single arm. So you train for it and you work up to it, and it's the last day. It's the last thing that you do. So you just swung that thing 3,000 times that day, and it's the last thing that you do. But when I came home with the certification. When I came home with the certification, that was what my kid, Mikey, that you met.
Yeah.
The light bulb went off for him, and he was like, "Well, I think I might want to do that." Our kids look up. Our kids look up to us.
Of course they do.
And I want to be an example. Not that the example isn't my dad's perfect. The example is my dad's imperfect.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
And he's imperfect, and he is accountable to his imperfections.
Agreed.
Right? Like, men, we have to realize that we have our baggage, but if I do wrong by my wife, if I do wrong by my kids, if I do wrong with my company or any aspect of things in my life, the accountability part of what it means to be a man, in my opinion, is to own it, apologize, and fix it. Like, fix your shit. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not easy. Like, I work on my shit. I work on my shit every day. It's the hardest thing that I do. I have baggage, dude, that, I mean, I could inundate you with the shit that I've done wrong in my life.
Yep. That
I still struggle with. But I've never, ever made an excuse where it's somebody else's fault. It's not my fault. My dad didn't give me what I needed.
It's not an excuse.
But you know what? He didn't give me what I needed. Okay, he didn't give me what I needed. Fine. But I've got to go and figure out. It's the challenge I've been given.
Yep.
And so I got a choice. I could either sit in self-pity and be like, oh, woe is me, and I've done that. Or it is a matter of, do I pick myself up off the ground, and do I stop making excuses, and do I say, hey, you know what? If I want to be in shape, okay, then go be in shape. My kid, Mikey's like, Dad, I think maybe I want to be a SEAL. I said,
and not the animal.
No, he wants to go to, he's like, it's like, I think I may want to go to Buds.
Good for him.
And I said, all right, well, son, go to Buds.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're probably in shape enough to be able to be dangerous, and by the boot camp will get you where you need to go. But if you want to go be in Buds, then be in Buds.
Good for him.
Now, will he do it? I don't know, but to tell him, oh, dude, you'll never be able to do that.
No, that's bullshit. Like,
his mother tells him, Dad, I want to open a gym someday. I want to be a business owner. Then great, go be a business owner. Yep. His mother tells him, well, why do you want to do that for? That's stupid.
Are you?
Yeah, 100%. And I said, son, you cannot allow people to tell you that you can't do something. If you want to go be a business owner, and if you want to own a gym, and you'll need you'll need $100,000 to get yourself a box, to open a box.
Yep.
What, you don't think you can scrape together $100,000? You don't think that you can, you don't think you go to school for business, learn how to run a business, and then go bootstrap yourself and go, you don't think you can do that? I mean, the thing that drives me crazy is that we as a society, there are so many people that have their hand out. It's like, well,
Yep.
And you have
Give
somebody
me.
From a political perspective, this is where you have people that come across the border. Let's assume somebody comes across the border of Mexico with good intentions, not a terrorist or whatever, not a criminal. That person comes across the border. He or she's a business owner in a month.
Yep.
With nothing.
Yep.
And it's like, well, this is all the opportunity in the world, right? And here we are. We've got a whole segment of society of people that have got their hands out. It's like, well, what about me? Well, what about you, dude? Like, are you on the liability side of the balance sheet, or are you on the asset side of the balance sheet? So what's it going to be?
During the COVID pandemic, as a sales guy, I was used to be on the road all the time.
Yeah.
So half of my days were spent going from one customer meeting to the other. And when pandemic happened, we all started working on Teams, starting working on Zoom. I was able to move out and just live in the country. I got rid of my place in the city and just lived by myself. And I'm like, okay, what can I do now? I can't control what's going on right now. And in Quebec, in Canada, the restrictions were brutal.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Like, as a non-vaccinated person, I could not go to... I've been threatened by my job time and time again that I was going to lose it. Because in Canada, we're about 90% of people have at least one shot.
Dude, the vaccine's complete bullshit.
Oh, fuck. That's a control. That's...
complete bullshit.
Listen, just as a side note, during pandemic, when the restrictions were going on where we were not allowed 6 feet from each other, I was going to the massive protest with a sign that said free hugs. And I've given thousands, if not. My buddy that was just here is like, bro, you probably gave like 4,000 or 5,000 free hugs to people in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm like, this is how I'm protesting. But the point is that we're just so fucking scared of everything. We tend to believe what everybody told. When I decided to start this podcast in the middle of the pandemic, I'm like, okay, what can I do? As a sales guy, what are my skills? And then I realized I'm meant to be in front of a camera. As cocky as this sounds, this is what I'm meant to do.
You are a handsome man.
Well, I appreciate that. But I'm talking to my mother, and I'm telling her I'm excited about this. She's like, you know that most people fail? I'm like, well, duh. But I'm not most people. I've never approached her with anything else after that. But this is the type of book. But I don't care. You can tell me I'm not going to succeed. I've never not achieved one of my goals. Never. It'll take me longer than I thought. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll be a lot faster. And my last one, I did it in 10 months instead of 12. And I had double the amount in my bank account that I wanted. But I did it in 10 months. So nobody can tell me what I can and cannot do. And that was not taught to me. That was learned through martial art. Martial art taught me to fail.
Yeah, 100%.
Getting my ass kicked day in and day out, getting submitted left and right on a daily basis, you tend to put your ego in check and say, holy fuck, there's some crazy bastards out there. Yeah. But how terrible is it that you have some parents nowadays that will tell their children what, as your ex-wife, and I don't mean to bash her, but that to me is the most ridiculous thing. If I don't have any kids, but when I do, if one of them approaches me saying, this is what I want to do, okay, I'll show you how. Let's sit down. I'll show you how you can do it. You want help? I'll show you how to do it. We'll be realistic about this.
Yes.
One thing's for sure is you want to own your business? Awesome. 99. I think they said 90% of businesses fail within the first 5 to 10 years. So you're not going to be a failure, but you're going to work your ass off. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Look, if you fail, okay. So,
who cares?
So you fail. What did you learn? And you move on, and you use that as it's part of your story, and it's an opportunity, right?
My first business failed. I lost a bunch of money, and I started 3 more in the past 2 years. So, fuck you.
It is. You know, we have opportunities to, men, to become what is defined or what you and I think are aligned in terms of what makes a man. It is it's very much learned behavior, and it is something that you have to you've got to establish a base of confidence, because you're right, your ego is not your amigo. And
I like that.
Yeah. Your ego's not your amigo.
Oh shit, Josie, write that down. That's a nut. I do a lot of t-shirts. Huh?
Your ego's not your amigo.
I'm
Take
stealing
it.
that one.
It's all yours, my
I
friend.
swear I'm on record. I've thought of this one before. Jeff never admitted to.
But humility is just so important in understanding that, just because I made a mistake or I failed, it doesn't define me. It doesn't make me who I am. It adds to my character and helps me. And so those things. And I'm glad to hear that there's a fellow unvaxxed person on this couch, because that vaccine thing just drove us absolutely bonkers. I've had COVID 4 times. I don't remember.
And you survived. Wow. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Are you saying that your immune system actually works?
No, but nobody talks about this whole thing. It drives me crazy. It's like, look, if you're eating 3 meals a day out of a sack in your car, you don't think that's going to they don't think that shit's going to catch up with you someday?
99, I think that 99, it was above 99% of people that died from COVID had 2 or 3 comorbidities.
100%.
Like, how fucked up when you think about it? How
did COVID kill you, or did your life's choices kill you?
Your life choices killed you.
100%.
You don't think I got COVID by hugging that many people?
Sure, you did.
Of course I did. You know what happened? Oh, I got sick a bit.
Yeah.
And then I was okay.
Yeah.
It's surprising. Yeah? My immune system did its job because
I'm not feeling quite right.
I exercise, I train, and I eat well. It's surprising how you treat your body like it's not a garbage, but an engine that supports my brain. How awesome it reacts when you treat it well.
100%.
This whole thing is... fuck. The worst thing is that whole vaccine thing played on fear. That's all it is. Instead of believing that you are strong, I don't believe that I'm strong. I know that I'm strong. It's not a belief. It's a certainty. There's a difference between both. Mm-hmm. But people are so afraid of everything. I was a very political guy until COVID happened. I cleaned up all my social media. I removed all of that shit. I added business-minded people instead. Politics I don't even know. My girlfriend talks to me more about politics nowadays, and my best friend brings me subjects. I'm like, oh shit, this is happening. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. But that toxic shit, when you stop listening to what the TV says, to what Facebook has to tell you, and you start just living just doing you, life is very different.
So when they're promoting vaccines, and
you
they're
really
selling,
don't like vaccines,
and you're selling it to me, right? You're selling me this thing. It's like, okay, so you're selling it to me, and everything is brought to you by Pfizer. And when you realize, so Pfizer's indemnified,
of course,
from
100%.
litigation,
100%.
And when there's no accountability, and it's a money grab, and it's money.
Of course.
There's no accountability. So you mean to tell me you want me to take this thing, you want me to put this inside my body, right? And I'm still not insured that I'm not going to get it. And you're telling me now, so the sale used to be, well, this is going to prevent you from getting COVID. And when that didn't happen, now the sale is, well, you'll just get it. You'll just have
minor. Exactly.
And it's like, really? Okay. I know so many people that have gotten the jab 3 times.
And they still got sick.
And they got sick, and it threw them on their ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're like, why did I get this thing? I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't know why you got it. And now the long-term effects, nobody knows what those long-term effects are going to be. Myochondritis.
Did you see the report from Pfizer that came out?
I saw.
They released hundreds of pages of test result that they did during the very accelerated testing phase. It's fucking scary. Holy shit, that
100%.
I'm so my girlfriend and I took a decision. In her family, she's the only one that didn't get it. My mother stopped seeing me. My sister, same thing, because I wasn't vaccinated and I was giving free hugs. I believed in my immune system and I gave love to people, and that shunned me. from my family. How ironic is that? But it's okay. You know what? Fear tends to isolate people, and it's not my problem.
Yeah, it's fear. And
but
it's very sad.
You know, I saw a meme the other day, and I was laughing. The meme just says, "Nobody ever regretted not getting vaccinated."
100%.
And I was laughing my ass off because it is so true.
It's the best damn thing I ever did. It's the best thing my wife and I ever did. We agreed on it, thankfully.
Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine if your wife is like, oh, I want to get vaccinated, you don't? You're like, that's values. As we were talking about earlier, when you choose your mate, you choose the person you want to spend your time with. Make sure those things fucking align.
I definitely married up, 100%.
Don't say that.
I did. She is,
and she's tiny. Just so you guys know, she's like 5'2", 5'3".
She's like 115 pounds, soaking wet, fully clothed, but
with rocks in her pockets. Yeah, she's not a big girl.
But you know, she has, you know, the partnership. And we talked about this earlier before this whole thing started. That love is a choice, and she chooses to love me despite my faults every day, and that is a beautiful thing. So you choose somebody that makes you want to be better. And you choose someone who expects a higher standard from you.
Yep.
And you choose someone who chooses to love you despite the fact that you're completely jacked up with all your baggage and all the things, and who demands honesty and integrity and holds you accountable to that standard. That's the kind of woman that you choose, who's not afraid to tell you what you need to hear, not necessarily what you want to hear, who is not afraid to give you the hard message, who's not afraid to tell you, yeah, you're a complete piece of shit, you're not going to treat me that way, I deserve better. That is the person that you choose to spend your life with, and that's what I hope my kids will learn.
Beautifully said. You know, we've been going for a while now. I can't see the timer on my recorder, but we've definitely been going for more than an hour. Listen, I thank you for receiving us in your pig office. His office is literally, he shares his office with a sanctuary. We had to cross like 50 pigs to come here. It's amazing. Don't fuck with Jeff. He has pigs, by the way. But thank you for doing this. Thank you for speaking about what it is to be a man. Or let me rephrase that. What it is to be a good man. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and hopefully the people out there have something to learn from what you shared. Is there something before we stop that, like a last message? Is there something you want to put out there? You can selfishly promote anything you're promoting too. That's all good.
The only thing that I would say is that put as much thought and effort into. I'm vegetarian. You're vegan.
Yep.
The only thing that I eat that's not vegan, I eat our eggs. We have about 1,000 chickens here, so I eat those eggs, and because I know that they're happy chickens, they run around like crazy, and it's all good. But the only thing that I would leave with is that think beyond the cellophane at the grocery store, right? So do some diligence in terms of what the protein, whatever protein you source, do some diligence. Find a farm where you can purchase protein where the animal had one bad day.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
And not a whole day full of misery because these animals are created, they're created by the same God that created all of us, and they deserve dignity, and they deserve a life of dignity. And if they have one bad day, so be it. So put as much effort and research into your next cell phone with what you choose to put inside your body, and go find a farm that you can go and happily purchase an animal, live the great life. That's the one thing that I will say. The farm website is piccolofarms.org. You can find us at Piccolo Farms on social media, Instagram, Facebook. My wife manages all that. She does a wonderful job, and I've appreciated the time that we've spent here.
Thanks again, man.
Hey, my pleasure. Anytime.
You've been listening to the Nico Lagan Show. Nico has been involved in the martial arts for 20 years. He's a Muay Thai coach, focus coach, podcaster, and sought-after public speaker. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we hope you've gotten some useful and practical information. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Coach Nico Lagan and on YouTube at The Nico Lagan Show. See you next time.